So I've got this problem. You might have seen it floating around on the internet over the last few years. I know that's where I first bumped into it. But it was originally proposed by a philosopher called Nick Bostrom in 2003 in this article. He argues that it's not just possible, but overwhelmingly likely that we live in a computer simulation. That's not just a hypothetical thought experiment. He means it. Actually, literally, factually live in a computer simulation. His reasoning goes like this. Given that humanity survives long enough and develops technology powerful enough to build immense supercomputers, it's almost certain, if you think about it, that one day they would decide to simulate their own history. And the people who lived in that simulation wouldn't know they were being simulated. Wouldn't even need to be a particularly good simulation. The technology wouldn't even have to be particularly good, because if you're in a simulation, how do you know you're in a simulation? It's the only world you've ever known. If they built just one of these scale models of human history, then the odds of any of us who think that we're alive actually being alive falls to 50%. And if they built 10, then it's less than 10%. And it keeps falling. But this isn't my problem. Bostrom's theory relies on humanity surviving into the far future, and I mean, come on. But we've been telling stories for all of human history. You're going to have to bear with me on this for a second. But imagine that you were a character in a story. How would you know? How would you know? I mean, presumably Batman's world feels just as real to him as our world does to us. There's more stories that have been told than there are people who have ever lived. Easily. And there's more characters in those stories than people who have ever lived. But so this is the real worry. Not that we're simulated bits in a computer somewhere in the future. That's ridiculous. But that we're fictional characters, written in ink in a book somewhere, or being played by actors in a film. And how would we know? Yeah, how's that?